I know you've heard the saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure, but I've come to think of it over the past 36 hours that might be referring to Cooper Kupp and the possible chance he comes to the Green Bay Packers. He had this tweet on Monday night, a little bit depressing, saying, "I was informed that the team," meaning the Los Angeles Rams, "will be seeking a trade immediately and will be working with me and my family to find the right place to continue competing for championships." Is that place Green Bay? Is that place somewhere where Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur are right now? That's what we're talking about on today's show. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. I'm Joey Petersen. You're watching the Packers Report. It's the best place for anything regarding your Green Bay Packers. News, rumors, everything under the sun. You could find it right here. That's why I asked you to hit that sub button, okay? Because we are in the midst of a February sub battle with the entire NFC North. Bears now is in the lead. They're only ahead 16 on us. Vikings now, they are right above us and in second place about 9. Right now we're in the bronze medal spot, but bronze is not good enough. We're the green and gold. Help us get there. Help us reach the top of this NFC North sub battle and hit that sub button. So my first thought on this entire topic of Cooper Kupp probably being traded and possibly to the Green Bay Packers is I think he could be a great fit with Green Bay, okay? I know he's not the same receiver he once was, and I know that he's dealt with injuries in the past, but when I look at what he's been able to do in these past 3 seasons in his limited time is still very impressive. And then you look at 2021, almost eclipsing 2,000 yards, scoring 16 touchdowns. I think he's still got a lot left in the tank, but in my opinion, I think the most important thing that Cooper Kupp can bring to this team is a veteran presence in that wide receiver room, okay? Reed, Dobbs, Watson, they're all great receivers. They're all good receivers. But I think a guy like Cooper Kupp, who has been in this league since 2017 when some of those guys were in high school, I think he can bring a lot to that room. I think he can bring a lot in terms of how you handle being in the NFL. What you need to do daily to prepare to be the best wide receiver on a football field that you can be, because Cooper Kupp's career wasn't one of those where he came out on the scene and he flashed bright and he was hot early. No. He had his best season 5 years in to being in the National Football League. Okay, so I believe Green Bay has 3 really good wide receivers, but with Cooper Kupp there, just guiding those guys along the way, I think those can turn into some great receivers. Before we dive in any more to this topic, just let me know right now, would you trade for Cooper Kupp? Give me a yes, give me a no. Let me know your answer in the comment section down below. That's what I love about this show. I talk, you talk, and we talk about it. So let me know in the comment section. Right now, when you look at the odds, Green Bay's up there. They're top 10, but they're not as high as teams like Los Angeles, Buffalo, Pittsburgh. They're sitting at 300, 400, 500 plus odds. And then you got to go all the way down to 8, right behind the New England Patriots to find the Green Bay Packers at plus 1,400. So right now, you're in the dance. I don't know if you're the leading lady, but you're there. And you're going after a guy who's doesn't come without his warts, right? He turns 32 years old in June. The new team would acquire around $20 million salary for 2025, just under $20 million salary for 2026, and he's missed 36% of the games over the last 3 seasons, okay? He's only played in 33 in the last 3 seasons. And when you look at that salary, initially you say, yikes. For a guy who misses over the third of his ball games, why would you want to pay him that much to get him on this team when he's about to be 32 years old? That was the initial reaction after the story dropped Monday night. But then Tuesday afternoon, when Rappaport was in, where's the Super Bowl right now? New Orleans, thank you. When he was in NOLA and they were doing Super Bowl coverage, he said that the Rams are willing to eat some of the money on Cooper Kupp's contract as part of the trade. And that's when I got real interested, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Because it wouldn't really cost you much to get him in the first place. You would just really be paying a lot out of pocket in terms of salary. But to get him in Green Bay, it wouldn't be much at all. You're looking at a 2025 6th-round pick. And if I'm just looking at that to get Kupp in this building and they're taking some of the salary, ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing that without blinking, okay? Without thinking twice about it. Because like I said earlier, you could get a guy in this building that I still think has the ability to be a great wide receiver, but above anything, I think he'd be a great role model, a great teammate, and a great leader, not only for that wide receiver room, but for this offense as a whole. But also, you look at LA, and if they can't find anybody that even wants to take even a little bit of that contract and just want to restructure themselves, there is a chance I feel like they might cut him. Because post-June 1st release, post-June 1st cut for a cat, they'd say $15 million. And so if you're a team that's looking to trade for him, and even if they do eat some of the money in that trade, maybe it's not as much as you'd want it to be, then you might sit there and think, okay, they could save $15 million if they just cut him after June 1st. They're probably going to end up doing that. Might as well just sit and get him at even more of a bargain than you already would have gotten him at. Okay, and that's why I think he may end up getting cut. But with this new wrinkle of them eating some of the salary, I'm listening, I'm paying attention, and you've definitely got me thinking. Coming up, I got more on why Kupp might fit in Green Bay, taking a little bit of a deeper dive into this wide receiver room. But before any of that, I got to hear from you guys, okay? Do you want Cooper Kupp on the Packers? If your answer is yes, let me know by hitting that thumbs up button. And I really do appreciate you guys tuning in so far. We got more to come, but just let me know yes or no by hitting that thumbs up. So this is why I believe he might fit. I think he still has potential to be great in this league, genuinely. But then, you got to talk about and you got to think about health still being a big question mark. But then another you got to look at this wide receiver room for what it is. You got to look at Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, all three of them which dealt with injuries. Christian Watson, no doubt the most significant of the three. And you got to ask, do you have 3 wide receiver 2s on your roster? Or will one of those guys in this next year, in the 2025 NFL season, make the jump up and be a wide receiver 1? Do any of those guys have what it takes to be the go-to guy for Jordan Love, to be the go-to guy in this offense, okay? I know things are still going to run through Josh Jacobs, right? I know there's still going to be a ground and pound mentality when you got that guy in your running back room. But also, this is the NFL. And also, your head coach is Matt LaFleur. And your quarterback's Jordan Love. Having a wide receiver 1 on your roster is very beneficial. So take out of it the guys you already got on the roster. Let's talk about Kupp. The question number 1 is he still a wide receiver 1? Because 2021, almost 2,000 yards, he proved that to every single person in the National Football League. But 3 seasons later, 3 injuries later, and only 33 games and 3 seasons later, I think those question marks may still arise. And the question number 2 on top of that is, does Green Bay need to replace Watson this next year? I kind of think that they're going to have to. A torn ACL in early mid-January is never anything good for a team. And sure, he might have a quick rehab, but a quick rehab on a torn ACL is what, 10 months? You're still missing first 6, 7, 8 weeks of the season, maybe half of it, probably even more of that, and there's a chance he misses all of it. And so is Cooper Kupp the type of wide receiver to fill that Christian Watson role? I don't know if he is. So you got to look at what's available. And I look at the wide receiver free agents. T. Higgins is really the only guy on this list that I believe can truly fit in and be this team's wide receiver 1 without question. Okay? Sure, there's some good names on there. I think Josh Palmer's great. I think Amari Cooper's great. I think Keenan Allen might have a little bit left in the tank. But I don't think that solves your lack of a wide receiver 1 problem. T. Higgins does. He's about it. But then I look to the draft. And there's a couple of guys I want to target. There's a couple of guys I want to talk about. This is Mel Kiper's wide receiver draft rankings. You see Travis Hunter at the top, Luther Burden at that 3 spot. I absolutely love him, think he could be a star. But I want to talk about Jalen Royals, and I want to talk about Savion Williams out of TCU. Those 2 guys, I think, could be absolute stars in this league. Let's talk about Royals first, okay? Royals, I've seen on social media, and I've seen from draft scouts say he has the size of Anquan Bolden, but he's been hand-timed at around a 4.2 40. Now, the combine's going to figure that all out more. It's going to be a little bit more precise, but still, you get that guy in here with his side and his speed. I think he could be any team's wide receiver one at the drop of a hat. Okay, then Savion Williams. He's a guy more on the size-wise comparison with Christian Watson. He's massive, 6'5", 220-something pounds. And I think either of those guys, if you take a shot on them in the first round of the draft, you don't have to give up anything in trade. You don't have to pay anything in that contract like you would with Cooper Kupp. I think that might financially be a little bit smarter of a decision for this football team. So my take on this, Kupp in a restructured contract would be really interesting to me. Okay, I think that would be something that really is like, okay, you're only paying that guy $12 million a year, $13 million a year, then that's something that has me saying, press the button, get it done right now, right? LaFleur, press that big red button on your desk. But if it's that same price and you have to give up something via trade, then I don't know if I'm very interested. Okay. Thanks so much for watching today. This has been the Packers Report. I am your host, Joey Petersen. Really appreciate all the love and support I've gotten over this past week and a half. It's been a blast covering your favorite team, the green and gold. We'll be doing it every day for the rest of eternity. So make sure you hit that sub button.